What's going on, ambitious vet? Thanks for diving right back inside the trenches with us this week as we seek to provide you the golden grenades you need to get yourself out of your own way and fuel your desire to make an impact post-military. This is your podcast built by veterans for veterans as we dive into the trenches with today's top subject matter experts, share inspiring transitional stories, and provide master classes to equip you to reach your full potential. Bottom line is, this is your place to go after immediate transitional education expires.
Yeah, no, I really love that part because for me, when you start to think about how you have gotten somewhere, you have to start saying, okay, in your case, when you got out as an E4, you were just shit hot E4, you know you have to go through something to get there.
Yeah.
And everybody can't go through that to get there.
Today's show is going to be brought to you by At Ease. Are you a federal traveler, PCSing soon, or seeking temporary housing for work? Or maybe you are a vacation rental owner or property management company seeking new channels of rental income. Regardless of the case, At Ease is a short-term rental platform helping military and federal employees and their families find government-approved temporary housing with less time and frustration. It's founded by Marine Corps Major Anthony Gant, a 22-plus year Marine, husband, and father of 6 who grew tired of 8 different personalities living in one hotel room each time he was relocated to a new base. After 3 moves in just 2 years, Anthony and his wife, Naval, started At Ease with the mission to simplify the booking and reimbursement process for PCS orders or permanent change of station. Bottom line is, ambitious vet, take the time and worry out of booking your next short-term rental today by leveraging At Ease's easy-to-use website and booking engine to cut through federal travel regulations, red tape, and ensure you never come up short on reimbursements again. Put your mind at ease by visiting www.pcsatease.com.
It's time to get into the trenches, dig into your purpose, and fire up your life fulfillment. The Ambitious Vet Podcast starts now.
What's going on, ambitious vet? We are right back inside the trenches this week with Anthony Cosby. Anthony retired from the United States Navy as a naval officer after his highly decorated 21-year career. Now he is the founder and CEO of Steezy, a lifestyle socks company based in San Antonio, Texas. Steezy is committed to helping others, and it all started with people who share a deep, genuine respect for the effort, dedication, and hunger required for student athletes around the globe to get what they need to excel in their sports. I'm excited to have this guest on the show, Ambitious Vet. He's one of the most genuine guys. Wouldn't expect anything less from a Southern boy, but, and an Auburn Tiger graduate. But Ambitious Vet, I'm excited to introduce Anthony Cosby to the show. Anthony, are you there?
Yeah. Hey, Chris, how's it going? Thanks so much for having me, man.
Yeah, man, it's an absolute honor. I mean, highly decorated naval officer here, getting out, doing some amazing stuff in the education world, and even now building a lifestyle company, which I know is just grounded in a lot of purpose-centered type values and morals and stuff like that. So I'm definitely excited to tap into that. But yeah, man, you're just an amazing leader, and we're excited to kind of just unpackage your journey from being a 21-year retired naval officer. So with that being said, man, just start out by diving into your background. What kind of led you up to coming from 21 plus year career, winning all those accolades, to getting out, probably feeling like Clark Kent a little bit? And how do you go back to feeling like a Superman again? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, appreciate it, Chris. And thank you so much for all that you do for veterans out there with your podcast. It's definitely hitting home, and I know that you're truly changing lives. So on top of it, thank you so much for that. So a little bit about me. So, I always like to start off at my roots in Alabama. So I joined the Navy at age 17. I wasn't, I understood hard work growing up. I mean, we cut the grass without a riding lawnmower, all those good things. And even during the summer, I got to work with a family and worked in their fields, whether it was soybean, cotton, whatever. I did that during the summer. Still got to play baseball, and be a young kid and be an athlete. But I knew I wanted something a little greater. So when I saw the opportunity to join the Navy, I originally wanted to join the Army. I had a 1 o'clock meeting, and my dad dropped me off at the recruiting station. And sure enough, they weren't there. And now I'm from the country. There are no stop lights. Probably have one stop sign in my town, but no stop lights or anything like that. And when my dad left, I was going to be stranded for a good hour. So then a Navy recruiter came out and said, "Hey, he's not coming back." But when he came out, he was eating a yogurt cone, right? Again, from the country, never had yogurt. We churned to get our ice cream from time to time with grandma. So he came out with that yogurt cone. He said, "Hey, we got a yogurt machine inside if you want some." I'm like, "Sure." So I walked inside, and sure enough, they had a yogurt machine, right? And I got me a waffle cone. Never had a waffle cone before in my life. I'm, 17.
Oh,
So I got this waffle cone. I'm eating it and everything. And sure enough, he said, "Hey, just so you know, in the Navy, we get to sleep in a bed every night." And I had never heard that before. I grew up watching combat. I grew up watching all of these Army shows, and I was like, I never thought about that. So fast forward, joined at 17 and was enlisted E1. Really had a drive to try to succeed and excel. Really didn't have a ton of confidence when I got to the Navy, but I tell you, the military really knows how to shake it out of you. You're gonna sink or swim. And so for me, I gained a ton of confidence when I got into the Navy. As a student athlete growing up, I had the ambition, I had the drive, but sometimes I just didn't know how to get to that next level. But when I got to the military, it just fit. It was like I was meant to be in the military. And, I really had an opportunity to excel as an enlisted sailor. And then once I had the opportunity to become an officer and go to Auburn University to work and get my commission, I jumped at that opportunity. And after going to Auburn and getting that commission, I knew that my time was probably going to be limited, but I wanted to push out of it as much as I could while I was in. And when I had my different tours, I think the probably most memorable one was my tour at the Naval Academy. Because when I was at the Naval Academy, it really showed me so much history in the Navy, but I was around all of these young folks that had came to the Naval Academy from all over the country that were truly trying to better themselves and truly wanted to be leaders. And we were there to help them reach that goal. And for me, that was just pretty eye-open, and to be able to be selected for that prestigious position and really ensuring that the nation had the finest leaders that we could muster and put out. So once I finished up at the Naval Academy, it was pretty much going towards the time that I was going to start thinking about that next move and whether I'm going to get out soon. And I ended up in San Antonio. And when I ended up in San Antonio, never been to Texas before, and in recruiting of all things. And the reason I chose recruiting because I'm an introvert. I'm a very confident introvert. I can play golf by myself and be happy as a clam. But I'll tell you, when I went into recruiting, I wanted to force myself to talk to people. I wanted to force myself to change their lives because I knew how much the military had changed my life. And even if they knew they only want to stay in 4 years, that 4 years is life changing for so many people because you get to have that title of veteran for the rest of your life. And that's going to change not only your life, but generations to come. So for me, that was my driving force to really try to find the best of the best of the women and men in San Antonio and throughout the great state of Texas to serve in our great Navy. And had a great time doing that. I was the #1 recruiter in the nation before I went to our headquarters and started working at our headquarters.
naval recruiter or all branches #1 recruiter?
Well, it was just Navy recruiter.
Well, still, wow. Congrats on that.
Yeah, no, that was good. Got to go to DC and everything. Forrest Gump. I'm telling
I know. Did you
you,
have
Forrest
14
Gump.
Dr. Peppers?
I was looking for them, man. I tell you, they had a spread everywhere we went. They had a spread. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I bet. Wow,
But
man. From an
yeah,
introvert to going to becoming a number one recruiter, and it's all started from a waffle cone and some ice cream, and you get to sleep on a bed. It's funny. That's a great story because I hear all these kind of stories of what had people join their respective branches, right? And it's
mhm,
anywhere from, hey, I couldn't swim, so I didn't join the Navy, right?
right.
I wanted to look sexy in uniform, so I joined the Marine Corps. Or I had buddies that were in branches and I saw them travel the world. I like it. But it was cool to kind of just hear, hey, got stranded, was going for the Army, but I got bought in with the waffle cone. The rest was over. So thanks for sharing that. And when you originally joined inside the Navy, were you expecting to spend the next 21 years of your life when you got in there?
No, I didn't really.
Mm,
I didn't know what to expect, Chris. I really didn't
yeah.
because I was just open to the adventure of it, really. And I knew I just wanted something different out of life. I just knew that. I knew I loved Alabama. I loved home, but I just wanted something different. So at that time, I was just really open to whether it was doing push-ups, whether it was doing 8 count bodybuilders, grinder, learning engineering. I didn't care. I wanted to do whatever different that I've been doing for the last 17 years of my life. And for me, that difference every day, it seemed like there was something different in the military.
Mm, yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. So it just every day was different for you, and
Yeah.
you just enjoyed, getting physically fit, which a lot of us guys and gals like to do, and it gives us a constant, whether we like it or not, 0430 PT session. You know what I mean? Come on, but that's congrats. I mean, 21 years, that you should be definitely proud of that. And yeah, I mean, from there, you wind up going and becoming an Auburn Tiger. Was that whenever you were still in, or did you choose to go to Auburn after your naval career?
Yeah, no, that was when I was still in. So they had this
Got it.
called the enlisted commissioning program. So, very few folks got to get selected for it, and I was still active duty while I was at Auburn. So, I did my 2 years at Auburn. I had went to St. Leo's College on base when I was at the Naval Air Station in Atlanta, and got my prereqs knocked out, and then they gave me
Hmm.
2 years to finish up my degree at Auburn, and knocked it out in 2 years.
Wow. Wow. On top of balancing a military career, I mean, ambitious vet, if you're an active duty military member listening to this show, just think about that, right? There's benefits that you can be taking advantage of right now that you could be balancing, back and forth with some of these accelerated degree paths that are coming out now, but also looking into some kind of programs at your local liaison or your admin office on base to figure out what you could do to kind of set yourself up for a great transition into something new. One thing you did talk about in our previous conversation, Anthony, is just the power of one person believing in you. And it just really hit me. I was like, oh man, like, in life and getting out of the military and trying to, make it out of the military, which we all know isn't the most easiest thing.
Yeah.
It's you think about that one person that was just like, you know what, I see potential in you, you know, let me speak life into you. Can you tell that story about you and kind of what had you kind of start, okay, I believe in myself, I'm going to start moving forward?
Yeah, no, definitely. In serious, that was when I was still in, and I was at Naval Air Station in Atlanta, and my officer in charge, Becky Valtier, one of the first women to graduate from the Naval Academy. She played basketball there, point guard, just lights out. She was that good, because we had to
Nice.
miss her from time to time, and we got embarrassed big time. But anyway, lights out, and I won't ever forget going into her office when she first checked on board, and she said, "So, what do you want to do?" And I sheepishly said, I would love to be an officer, but and she didn't let me say anything else. She said, "Let's do it."
Hmm.
She wrote some things down. She said, "All right, this is your plan for now." And I took it, and she said, "You can do this." And sure enough, that's all I needed. And she would check up on me. I was going to school during lunchtime. I was going to school on weekends at St. Leo's College, and she would, ask me to bring my grades in, and She would read papers that I was writing, all that, it was just amazing. And sure enough, so when I got ready to get commissioned, she was my commissioning officer. She was in D.C. She flew down to be my commissioning officer. When she got out, she asked me to come to the Naval Academy to work for her because she was working for Admiral Rempt, and she wanted me to work with her and Admiral Rempt. So when she got out, I was her master of ceremonies at her retirement. When I retired, she was my guest speaker at my retirement.
Oh, wow. So you
Yeah.
guys have like literally been life journey partners, man. That is
Life journey
super cool.
partners, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. I think a lot of us may have mentors, throughout a couple of years of our life through challenging times. We hit a different milestone, then we kind of outgrow our mentor. But it seems like you guys started growing together and kept that relationship moving forward, which I think is key for any veteran that's out in the
Yeah.
trenches of life trying to grow. Is like, how do you maintain those relationships that are pouring water into your dirty Dr. Pepper, in other words,
Yeah.
come on, you know what I mean? But like, how do you start, being in the trenches with that person that spoke life into you? Maybe you start becoming running buddies side by side at some point, right? And I think sometimes we can just be like, all right, kind of over that person, or you may get insecure, not confident, or whatever, and you may just be like, hey, I'm not even good enough for this person, right? And but
Mhm.
if that's you, that's just completely untrue, right? All of us have felt that. And to Anthony's point right here is, finding that mentor, writing down a goal, working daily to achieve it, focusing on that target downrange, right? And at having them show up for you as you show up for them throughout life. It's just incredible. Thank you for sharing that. And now, 21 years in the Navy, you're getting out, right? Tell us about getting out as a 21-year retired naval officer and kind of navigating the reins and really growing and continuing to leverage that purpose-centered mentality that we have as military members, right? Walk us through that challenge or that
Yeah.
process of you going out as a naval officer into the civilian sector.
Yeah. So, for me, my transition was a little shaky, and it wasn't intentional for it to be shaky.
Mm.
I thought it was going to be very smooth, and I did. I was one of those guys that put all their eggs in one basket, and when that didn't come to fruition, I thought I had this job at this one company, was going to be making really good money, was going to get bonuses and all that, and it didn't work out. And that was my first dose of reality for life after the military, private sector, and I knew that feeling. I hated that feeling, so I sulked for one day. I gave myself one day, and then after that, I got to it and pivot really quickly. Started to figure out my network and if I can have some folks that can speak on my behalf. And so once I figured that part out, I wanted to figure out how to help other folks like me because I figured if I had the career that I had and I still got told no, there's probably some things that I probably could have done better leading up to my transition out that could have helped me manage my expectations a little bit better. So I
Mm.
got career coaching certification when I started at the University of Texas at San Antonio, working as the alumni career coach. And for me, that's when I was that individual that was not so much working as a recruiter, making sure that folks were going into the Navy. Now I'm working for students, working for student veterans, alumni that, because during the time I got out was 2012, that whole Great Recession was still kind of waning. Folks
Mm-hmm.
taking jobs at restaurants or anything they can get just because there was nothing out there because of the Great Recession. And so now people are coming back saying, hey, I have a degree in, mechanical engineering, but, I've been working at this job. I know that's not what I really want to do. I'm a veteran. And so that's when I knew. I said, okay, let's get a plan together for you. And that's where that career coaching came. Again, just like you said, it's speaking life into people and letting them know that, you know what, I'm going to push you because I see you can handle it. But when I push you, you're going to see how much you can handle and you're going to go after that, whatever it is that you want. And I'm going to be with you every step of the way. Just give me a call. And I think when I started doing that and just letting folks know I cared that I wanted them to succeed. I wanted their post-military life to be better than their military life. I
Mm.
wanted them to value their military life, but I wanted them to go kill it out in the civilian sector. I wanted them to go kill it if they're going to get a government job. And I didn't want them to set any limits on themselves. And so when I started working with folks, that's when I saw my true calling to help people to understand, have them talk to me for a good 30 minutes, develop a good plan for them. I probably wouldn't see them again the rest of my life, but I knew I changed their life during that moment. And so for me, that's where I saw the great things about how veterans can truly help veterans, because we're that less than 1% population that raised our right hand to serve and defend our great nation. And for me, one of the things I truly wanted to ensure is that those folks that I didn't want them to have to struggle during that transition, because it's not a good feeling. And you know as well as I know, the more you struggle, that's when bad things start to happen to folks. And
Mm.
I didn't want that to happen to our
Yeah.
men that have served.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Thank you for sharing that. And one thing that stood out to me, I wrote it on my piece of paper in front of me. And ambitious vet, I want to really magnify this topic that Anthony just brought up for you, and it's managing your own expectations. Right? When we first get out, me as an E4, shit hot corporal out of the Marine Corps back in 2012, I thought I was going to conquer the world. But to your point, you know, there wasn't a lot of opportunity. The only opportunities I was finding was security stuff. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Yep.
And I wasn't managing my own expectations, but I also just wasn't aware of what my human capital could provide for my life. You know what I mean? It was the most humbling experience of my life,
Yep.
but it was also one of the most enlightening, to your point, right? And I think just having, to your point, someone there to help guide you, lay out an individual plan or whatever. Even if you've been out for a few years now and you're just trying to career advance or find that next ideal career, getting with someone to lay out an individualized plan to hold you accountable to hit that next milestone or find that next opportunity, and managing your expectations and your human capital along the way, ambitious vet. That's so important. And Anthony, back to you. I mean, for you, one thing that we've talked about in the past too, man, I love this topic, is whenever you do start hitting roadblocks in your career or in life, it's always leaning back and reflecting on your human capital. And I'd love for you to just kind of hit on that, on how you've been able to leverage that in your life, if you wouldn't
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. No, I really love that part, because for me, when you start to think about how you have gotten somewhere, you have to start saying, okay, in your case, when you got out as E4, you were just shit hot E4. You know you had to go through something to get there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everybody can't go through that to get there. And you start thinking, well, I did push myself at boot camp.
Mm.
I was thirsty, but I pushed myself. I did some things that the regular American would not do. So can I push myself a little bit farther in this new situation? Because really, I think of boot camp as I would if I'm starting a business, right? Everybody can't do it, right? So, but if you have a unique opportunity, just push yourself. You're gonna have challenges. I mean, I'm the person to know that every day you're gonna have some type of challenge. Because if you think everything is gonna be roses every day, you're it's not going to be that way. Understand how to understand those challenges, how to navigate through those challenges, and how not to let those challenges eat up on you. I mean, we were taught to be reactionary. We were taught if a missile hit the ship, we're going to secure that ship, watertight integrity. We're not going to think, what do I do? What do I do? No, we're going
Hmm.
to boom. Same thing when you're out and when you're faced with a situation. All right, what am I going to do now? All right, you start thinking, because most veterans that I know, anytime they're walking, guess what? They're scanning the area, right? You could be in the
Yep.
parking lot, you're scanning the area. You walk into a restaurant, you have scanned that restaurant. Who knows that you scan? I go to church. When I go to church, I scan the church, and I'm looking around. I'm
Yep.
looking around, and I'm thinking, if something happens, I know what I'm going to do. Wife, daughter, duck. I'm going to go try to kill whoever's there, right? I'm going
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
So that's some of the things that I think that, those experiences that we have, we can always bring those back to whatever we're doing, because I want folks to be proud of their military service, and I want them to take those unique situations and bring them to whatever it is. Even if you're going to be an actor, right? There's some situations that you had in boot camp that you probably can bring out that's going to make you be a better actor, make you be a better singer, make you be a better engineer. So for me, when I think about my time in the military, I truly look at it as my it's like my lab, right? The lab to be able to have all these situations, and now as I'm out of the military, I can handle things better, because again, when you're able to handle things in stressful situations, when things are not so stressful and not coming as fast as they were if you were in Iraq, or if you were on a ship, or if you're on a submarine, then you can handle them. I believe it. And, I'm telling your audience, I believe in you that you can handle them. Just kind of think. Stop 1 second, collect yourself. On the ship, we always said, if all shit breaks loose on the ship, all stop. All stop. Because if you're not going anywhere, you can't hit anything.
Mm. Yep.
Start situational awareness, engage.
Yeah, no, that's good. I love it. I love it. And I know it always pisses my wife off whenever I don't make everything a big deal. I always compare it to your mind, to your point, man. Like I associate it to like deployment in Afghanistan and, just this other stuff that you just compare it. And it always has this moment kind of slow down for you, like you're LeBron James hitting that three with 3 seconds left. Right. And I think every day in life, and we're hitting some powerful topics right here that's never been brought up in this show, Anthony. So I appreciate you rising them. But it is, man, we kind of get into a flow state of everyday life when like certain situations or problems or obstacles are making other people spaz out. Veterans are very clear on, hey, slow down, be situational aware. What are the resources, process, and tactics that I can take right now to allocate and move forward? And I love that, man. I love it. That's good stuff. So yeah, man, let's dive into Steezy, man. I mean, you've been given some amazing content with just, you choosing, the U.S. Navy because of ice cream and a bed, amazing story, to becoming an Auburn Tiger, to, becoming the #1 recruiter nationwide for the Navy. I mean, that's incredible accolade from someone coming from that, an introvert gets more energy of playing golf by themselves, which by the way, I identify with, man. I'm an introvert as well. And every time I go out and even talk to family, I need to spend the night, watching a couple movies to refuel, so I get that, man. But yeah, I want to dive into this lifestyle sock company because it's an exciting company. You got the product out there. It's amazing material with a cause, man. So tell us more about Steezy.
Yeah, I guess leading up to Steve's, I had a unique opportunity through my current employer, the Institute for Veterans Military Families at Syracuse University, to go to the Entrepreneurship Boot Camp for Veterans with Disabilities, and that was at Texas A&M University.
Hmm.
So when I went there, it was almost like a master class, 2 months of master class. It was very, very intense. But those folks really taught me to get very laser focused on what I wanted to do. And during the pandemic, one of the things I wanted to do was start a company, a new company. I had a drop shipping company, but everything kind of dried up during the pandemic and nothing was going out. So
Hmm.
perfect time to figure out something that you can do, that you can bring inventory on and really figure it out. So it took us about 8 months to get to market. I had some amazing folks, David and Josh, who worked with me to get this to market. And when we got it to market, I said, hey, we really need to have something for a cause, because, that's what I want to really set our company against other companies. And we chose student athletes because I remember as a young student athlete that it really taught me dedication, determination, pride, self confidence. Just playing baseball or playing football or basketball in a organization, And for me, I thought how many student athletes out there that really don't have a ton of resources that might could be in that trailer park in Iowa throwing 88 miles an hour, but never had anybody teach them how to throw a baseball. They could throw a rock, but no one's ever taught them how to throw a split finger. So for me, I wanted to start that, and we were able to get B pending, B Corp certified, and for us, being able to breathe life into student athletes that are trying to reach their goals and dreams and aspire for something greater, that is the gist of why Steezy was started, because we want to help student athletes in need all over the world. And one of the things, I go back even to my military experience and think about student athletes that are on base, even during when we were in our 15-year war. Think about how many student athletes didn't have a mom and dad at home because they were deployed for 15 months, right? And
Mm-hmm.
now I look at that and say, you know what? I want to be that company that's going to help those student athletes and just help them understand and just kind of think, what if? What if you get a college scholarship playing softball and get that engineering degree? That probably can change your life forever. You know,
Yeah.
for me, just being able to just say what if, get people to think a little bit differently. You might have to push a little bit harder, which is our tagline, keep pushing forward. You might have to push a little bit harder, but the result of it is it can truly be life changing for you. For us, from the veteran standpoint, boot camp or officer candidate school, those things were life changing for us. So for us to be able to help student athletes, it's just been a blessing. And our socks are probably the most comfortable socks in the world. We've had a ton of professional athletes, NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, WNBA, MMA, soccer, folks that have reached out. And it's really cool when multimillionaires that can buy any type of socks they want your socks. So for me, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's backed by a cause too, Ambitious Vet, which is so important. And I think it hits home to you too, doesn't it, Anthony? Don't you have like a daughter that's what is it? Tennis player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I kind of go back to when I was growing up, very humble beginnings. My dad worked construction, and the one thing I wanted to do was go to Atlanta Braves training camp. Of course, we didn't have the funds, resources to do it, but I always thought if I would have went to that training camp and been around some of those guys, something would have clicked in me. That's what I always thought. So for my daughter, when she was 3, she was picking up a tennis racket and hitting tennis balls. And we put her in her first camp at 4, and the director came on and said, she's special. And this is without us telling her to go play. This is something that she's been wanting to do on her own. And now she just turned 10. This past summer, she was with the elite team, so she was playing with the 14 and 18-year-olds.
Wow.
This past Christmas, when she was 9, she was playing with college students, and she just turned 10. So, I think she's probably one of the best 110-year-olds in the world right now. And her goal is to be at Wimbledon by age 15 and at least win the U.S. Open by age 16. And for me, just seeing how she goes about it in a selfless way and really put her religion, really put Christ first in her life, and just saying she want to be able to impact for people to believe in and to inspire people. That's why she wants to play. That's why she wants to be number one, to inspire people to achieve something greater than themselves.
No, that's incredible. And it sounds like she's got the work ethic from daddy a little bit. So that's good. That's good. But yeah, obviously amazing story, right? Hits home. And Ambitious Vet, obviously, sometimes your pain becomes your purpose, right? And this is a case of that. And, you know, Anthony, I mean, I'd love to hear more about just how you guys are building those relationships with like companies that are looking to and fuel student athletes, and how you're reaching the student athletes, other than just giving them a percentage of the backing, as far as the socks. Would love to hear that. But again, man, I just want to acknowledge you for just starting something based on your upbringing and stuff like that, and understanding that there's other people out there that are under resourced for their work ethic, and not everyone's born with amazing talent either, but they have the work ethic. And if they have the resources, the talent can kind of catch up potentially. Right. So just acknowledge you for doing that. And going after those people that are out there trying to make it work and they're just under resourced. I acknowledge you for that, but talk more about what you guys are looking for as far as partnerships, how you guys are currently looking to get inside of, communities of student athletes. And maybe someone listening to the show could be like, yes, I got to email this guy.
Yeah, so basically what happens typically is, is on our website, of course, but a lot of folks actually reach out to us because we have some pretty amazing content through our social that we are pushing all the time. And for us, we always look at the aspect of product equals purpose. The product is a sock, but the purpose is being able to breathe life into young athletes. So for us, folks reach out to us, and it's been amazing to see that, because for folks to read our website, to see what we're about, and then to reach out to us. For example, we got JoJo Dixon out in Hawaii. We're going to do a combine with him this summer. But JoJo played for the University of Idaho. He was able to get that. Perfect story. He was able to get off the island, right? Go to University of Idaho, and then he ended up playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. And he has a performance gym, but his performance gym is all for young people on the island that are trying to get better, trying to change their lives. So perfect match for what he's doing out there on the island, because he was like, hey, most kids just want to graduate and that's it. I'm trying to show them something so much more. After you graduate, let's try to have a career, whether you go to college or whether you go into the military. Try to have them see something more so than just staying on the island and not really having any goals. So for me, those are the perfect folks for us to be able to partner with. And, always our contact is on the website. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, because we're looking for those partners and we're looking for those people to bless, because at the end of the day, I always tell the team that we need to be the blessing. We're going to get blessed, so let's be the blessing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It always comes back to you, ambitious vet. So I know we're hitting time, Anthony, but I'd love for the ambitious vet that's listening to this right now that says, hey, I may have a partnership, or, hey, maybe I just want to start purchasing the socks, get this amazing material, and just get a sock with purpose, right? That's going to go and cause some kind of social impact with something I'm passionate about. Maybe you, ambitious vet, you were a previous athlete that was reminded of, hey, man, if I would have been able to have an extra $5,000 to go to that baseball camp in the summertime, hey, I would have made it, right?
Yeah.
We have those kind of stories, right? If that's you, go to the website, but also, if you just want to help out in any way, shape, or form, go and check out the website. I know that we have a coupon code there. If you go in and use AVN, that's Alpha Victor November, you get 20% off all your purchases, ambitious vet. But Anthony, what is the website if an ambitious vet's like, hey, I want to go right now?
Yeah, really simple. www.stzysocks.com, steezysocks.com.
Perfect. Ambitious vet, and that link will be in the show notes below as well. Again, why not get some socks with purpose and help fuel the student athlete's future so we can continue to be entertained late at night when we're drinking our beer, our bourbon, right? We like that. And also, just making sure kids have an amazing future, and we're constantly fueling those dreams. Anthony, hey man, just thanks for joining the show. I know you went a little bit over time on the show, being a servant leader. I appreciate that. But man, I just got to tell you, this conversation for me was refueling. You're a genuine man and you got a huge heart, brother. So thanks for joining the show today.
No, thanks so much for having me, Chris. And again, everything that you do, you're very impactful. Everything that you're going to continue to do, be impactful, because guess what? You're being a blessing. Thank you so much.
The Ambitious Vet is available on all popular podcast platforms. Go to vettrainingcoaching.com to subscribe, rate, and share with fellow vets.
Again, today's show is going to be brought to you by At Ease. Whether you're a federal traveler, PCSing soon, or seeking temporary housing for work, or maybe you're a vacation rental owner or property management company seeking new channels of rental income. Regardless of the case, Ambitious Vet, At Ease is a short-term rental platform helping military and federal employees and their families find government-approved temporary housing with less time and frustration. Go ahead and put your mind at ease by booking or hosting at www.pcsatease.com. Again, that's www.pcsatease.com.